One of the most common goals people want to achieve when they step in the gym is to get that nice classic V-taper. If you're not familiar with the phrase V-taper, let me explain it to you. It's narrow in the waist and wide in the shoulders. So in these 5 different exercises we're about to go over, we're going to show you how to develop the shoulders correctly, working the anterior, the medial, and the posterior heads properly. So that way you can get those Boulder shoulders and have that classic V-taper. The standing barbell overhead press. One of the best exercises for your shoulder development. It's going to work all 3 heads, but it's also going to work your core. When you're standing and you're pressing the weight overhead, it's actually going to raise your center of gravity, so it's going to require a lot more balance in the core. Also, you can go really heavy with it for that total shoulder development. How to perform this exercise is you're going to grab the barbell, you're going to pull it to the front of the chest. As you press up, you want to press through the palms, getting the full contraction in the shoulders as you come up, nice and slow on the way down, all the way back down to the chest. Pretty simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Dumbbell lateral raise. This exercise is great for helping isolate the medial head of the deltoid. One thing you always got to remember is the anterior delt, or the front delt, is a secondary muscle group worked in any kind of pressing motion, usually for the chest. And the posterior deltoid, or the rear deltoid, is a secondary muscle group in any kind of pulling exercise, usually for the back. Now the medial head, the middle head of the deltoid, isn't a secondary muscle group worked in anything. So you always have to isolate it, that way properly developing the shoulder. Now with the dumbbell lateral raise, it's going to help do that. And how to perform this is you're actually going to raise up leading with the elbows. You'll see some people raise with the hands. What that's going to do, the elbows are going to drop and it's going to put pressure on the front of the delt. If you lead with your elbows, it's going to drop the palms and the thumbs slightly turn downward, and it's going to help isolate the medial head that much more. Lying low pulley cable medial delt raise. That's a mouthful, I know. But this is a very rare exercise and very good for helping isolate the medial head of the deltoid. So what you do is you lie on the floor, getting the low pulley on the cable, and you can pull straight up, again leading with the elbow, helping contain nice contraction in the medial head of the deltoid. The good thing about the cable is going to contain that constant tension throughout the whole motion. So yeah, so do them. Upright row. Between the overhead press and the upright row, these are 2 great compound movements worked for total shoulder development. So for the upright row, it's going to work all heads of the deltoid. It's also going to work the traps, which is great because who doesn't want traps, right? I mean, just ask Tom Hardy. We're going to take the barbell and you raise it straight up. As you come up, you want to poke the chest out, pulling the shoulders back. The thing you got to remember here is different hand grips are going to be putting emphasis on different parts of the deltoid. So if you go really wide with the grip and pulling up, it's going to almost mimic a lateral raise, putting more emphasis on the medial head of the deltoid. You bring it in close, more in the neutral grip, which is shoulder width, it's going to hit all 3 heads of the deltoid, also the traps. Go close, bring it up, it's going to work the anterior delt, get that nice stretch in here, also a little bit of the posterior and the traps as well. So if you go ahead and do all 3 of those hand grips throughout the exercise, each set being a different hand grip, total shoulder development, baby. The Bradford Press. This is a great exercise to either start your workout to help with shoulder mobility and warm up, or to end it to help totally burn out your shoulders. In order to perform this exercise, what you want to do is pretty much start it exactly like a regular shoulder press. The barbell, you're going to be pressing it straight up. What the difference between this is you're not going to get the full extension in the arms. You're actually just bringing it right above the head. And as you get to that stage, you're going to rotate your shoulders back, pulling your chest up, and then lowering it behind the neck, and then repeating. So it goes the front, rotate back, rotate to the front, just like so. This is great because the shoulders are in complete contraction at all times. Again, to help totally burn out the shoulders and get a maximum development and definition. Now that you know how to properly work out all 3 heads of the deltoid, you're going to be able to step in the gym with more confidence and more knowledge, helping you become a buff dude. And let's face it, if you want to be a buff dude, you gotta have those well-developed shoulders. So do these 5 different exercises we just showed you, and it's gonna look like you have 2 boulders strapped to those shoulders. Boulder, shoulders. Get it? It ain't easy being a buff dude.